What if there was a game that brought your favorite books and your favorite movies to life? It would be epic.
Hey Casey, how was your Labor Day weekend? I bet it was awesome.
Man, awesome doesn't begin to describe it. Okay, well maybe it does.
What did you do? You seem really excited.
You bet. I went to a LARP. It was awesome.
LARPing? What is that?
You've never heard of LARPing before?
Nope, never.
Okay, LARPing means live action role playing. You can choose your own character like a knight, a jester, or even a king. Well, in your case, a queen. You know, from a fantasy book. And live that role, and can even fight your enemies.
Oh, is it like a film or book reenactment? Like, does everybody dress up like people from Lord of the Rings?
Well, yes and no. It's more of a game where you and a group of other people play within a certain story world. Each LARP has its own parameters and rules, and everyone agrees to follow them in order to keep the story going. The game can last for hours or days.
Okay, it sounds fun. But tell me more about it.
Okay, well let's start with a little background information first. LARPing is a live-action role-playing, where participants physically act out their characters' actions. The purpose of this live-action role-playing is for players to pursue goals within a fictional setting represented by the real world, while interacting with each other. Another interesting definition is that LARPing is a kind of a cross between a game and a form of theater.
Cosplay, or costume play, is one of the primary foundations of LARPing. However, it should not be confused with LARPing. The cosplay community, by and large, create their own costumes for the benefit of spectatorship, and while LARPers may participate in cosplay as well, their goal requires active participation within a group of like-minded peers in order to complete a game. As its roots in theater and gaming run so deep, it's hard to pinpoint exactly when what we know as traditional LARPing actually began. But it is safe to say that probably within the recent decade, its popularity has grown a great deal.
Many people LARP simply for the thrill of battles. We all get frustrated with school, work, and traffic. LARPing is a way to get some fresh air and get some fury out as we fight to the simulated death.
In the documentary Monster Camp, filmmaker Colin Hoback follows a variety of LARPers who attend a LARPing camp. One LARPer, named Dave, is the primary storyteller for the camp's LARPing game, called Nero.
Writing plot is basically taking a situation that you want to put the players through, writing out what is supposed to happen, where they're going, who they're going to encounter, what monsters or anything they're going to have to fight, what treasure is going to be involved, any puzzles, any clues that they're going to get, anything that's going to tie into something else that's in the game. All has to be decided beforehand. It's like writing a story that people are going to live through. I like being in the position of writing stories. It's what I do. People have talents outside of their work. Mine is writing.
Like Dave, many people take their outside talents and utilize them within the game, which requires strategy, logic, prowess, and cunning. If you want your character to survive, you have to bring your A game.
That all seems interesting, but this creating a fantasy character sounds like it can get awfully expensive.
Not necessarily. It all depends on the player. If you want an elaborate costume, you have to be willing to pay for it. And if you feel like you need things like weapons and armor to add to your character authenticity, there are a wide range of options for you cost-wise.
So tell me, who would LARP?
In real life, they make your copies, teach your children, and repair your computers. They fight in your wars, research new vaccines, and build your roads. There are students, lawyers, filmmakers, and businessmen. On weekends, there are elves, vampires, knights, Jedis, or mutants. They're everywhere.
We have some software developers and software testers from Microsoft. We have a couple people that work for the state of Washington, a psychologist, Kelly, who is a former sheriff, who actually is here because his daughter likes to play. And then for the most part, our largest player base is made up of college students.
It all sounds pretty cool. But I have to ask, why would you LARP?
I LARP because it's fun.
Well, I figured that much. But why? What makes it so appealing to you?
Well, I guess it's all about getting to meet new people. I've made many friends at these events, and I'm always making more.
Oh, I see.
Well, that's just me. And I'll tell you something else. At this LARP, we even have a group of singers. It was like a revolutionary battle where you might have instruments encouraging the army to go on. Hearing your entire team chant along in a battle cry gave me goosebumps.
Really?
Well, you really had to be there.
Well, I do see the appeal in that. It would be like playing MMORPGs, but in person.
That's exactly it. Plus, who doesn't like dressing up as a character?
Anything that can happen in the real world can happen here in Darkon.
And with dozens of mythical countries bent on netherworld domination, referees are indispensable.
When you get killed, go down!
Darkon uses an honor system of hits.
Over here, we're going to hold this flank as those guys advance.
Don't get me wrong, it does sound fun, but it kind of seems nerdy.
Well, it is nerdy to an extent. But this isn't like a bunch of middle-aged adults wearing capes and masks in mom's basement. LARPing is like a sport. You're active, you're running, you're hiding, you're fighting. There's never a dull moment.
Well, that sounds like only the physically fit would be good at it.
Well, there's also strategy. You have to have the brains on your team.
LARPing gives people an opportunity to escape from their everyday life. In the LARPing documentary, Monster Camp, the filmmaker follows a variety of LARPers, like Val, who explains why she likes to live-action roleplay.
For me, the fantasy side is I put that table up, and I'm not in a wheelchair. Because the first thing you see is someone sitting at a table. You do not see the joystick. You don't see any of that. I'm just whatever character I decide to be, and there's no wheelchair. So, to me, it's a chance to ignore this for a little while, where in the reality world, I can't.
Honestly, you can consider this to be the only practical use for your studies of historical battles. It's a chance to use modern-day logic outside the classroom. The storyteller also creates plot obstacles and challenges for players to overcome during the game. The outcome of every LARP is unknown, as the player characters improvise all their lines and use their wits to solve plots laid out for them. Plus, you actually learn things in LARP. Leadership skills are developed, which are key in any workplace. LARPs are far more than games. They're multimedia entertainment, teach social skills, and create tightly knit community through shared experiences.
Darkon, it's like I have all these people who know me, who know who I am and what I can do.
I don't really have control in this house as long as Mom's home. This is her house, she's in control. I go to work, my boss is in control. I go to Darkon, I'm in control.
Keldar was who I wanted to be. Over time, playing Keldar helped me become the man I wanted to be.
I've done great things and have been passed over, but now is my time to be recognized, and I will continue on my path to greatness.
That does sound fun.
Why don't you come out and try it sometime?